This is where they like to hide in the afternoon. They get some shade on the back side of the coop. Hey folks, trying to get into the swing of doing some videos on a more regular basis, even if they're small and somewhat less than personal. Yes, I'm walking backwards. You can see the orchard behind me, maybe, kind of, sort of. Getting a project done that has been slow burning for quite some time on the grape trellises. Not a huge project by any means, but what we have to do here is get the wires up. And I know I had a previous video where I did some of this before. This morning, weather was cooperating. It rained a little bit, cooled things off. Now it's humid, but I got the second cordon wire up, top wire for the grapes. As you can see, the grapes are climbing steadily. One thing I learned that I didn't do was prune them up properly so they grow properly. Oh look, this guy's trying to grab on already. You can see him holding on for dear life. So I'll probably have to help him out a little bit here after he grabs on. But what I found out was when I planted them, typically when I plant trees just for my own sake, and yes, I know they're grapes, not trees, but they're still a woody plant. What people like to do is prune them low so they have a central leader, and especially with grapes, you can see I have this shoot off here, but I have my main central leader coming all the way up to the top here. And when I plant trees and everything, I don't really prune them the first year at all, because I want them to have all the chance they can to establish their roots. So I did the same thing with the grapes, and one of the things that you'll see down here is, you can see off in the background, back there, there's some grapes growing on this vine. It's growing off this little side shoot here. So again, I just kind of let things be and just let this grow. I do have a good thick central leader that's doing well on all the grapes, reaching. So I'm doing what I guess they call a Forearm Kniffin. So you got a central trunk right up the middle. You got two wires, one at about 2 to 3 feet and then one at about 5 feet. And then what you get is, along the wire, you find your branches. Get a stout branch and you start running them along the wire, and what it does is it'll grow out and then it'll bud along that branch and start growing up. Same thing on the top wire. You get another one up to the top and then find the branch growth and let them go, and you'll have grape vines falling down off there, and that's where all the fruit goes. You prune every year. So that's a strategy I'm taking with these guys. But as you can see, I got both wires up finally. This is the heavy, what is it? This is the 9-gauge wire, you can see. And there's my tool bucket. I'm going to be using the same thing for the kiwis, the kiwi vine. We'll ignore this guy out here. He got decimated by rabbits early on, but this guy's been growing good. And as you can see, he grows, he's a vine, vining up, spiral around this little stake. And once he gets to the point that he can't support himself anymore, he will send off runners. And these runners will be where most of the fruit goes. So this guy right here that's drooping down, my fancy camera work, this guy that's drooping down is that central runner that comes off that spiral. You can see right here, he comes off and then goes down, and then he's got branches coming off here and here. And so these are Acai Hearty Kiwis. These two guys, they're smaller berry-sized kiwis. They're not as big as the fuzzy ones. They're about the size of a big grape, but they still have a lot of good flavor in them, and they're very prolific. And these runners will grow along the wire, and then they'll sprout runners off them. And what I'm doing this first year, I'm just going to see if I can get away with one wire. Most people will put them on a trellis or what they call a T-bar, which, if we go back to the post, what a T-bar is, it's literally what it does. You'll have a board or a beam across the top. It's kind of like a clothesline where you have multiple wires going across, and those runners that sprout off spread across those, and then sprout runners across that run wrap down the lines. What I'm going to do this first year is just get that top wire on so that I can support two of the runners, and then we'll see how they grow next year, and I might upgrade to a T-bar. But other than that, I'm expecting what's going to happen here is similar to the grapes, where this guy and this guy, well, probably the main runner, but these guys are going to go wrap themselves along the runner on either direction and then curtain down with fruit. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, this is just projects we're doing, trying to keep everybody up to date with everything. Fence for the main pasture, the last fence split is about halfway down. It's just been really hot. Trying to use the hand auger to dig holes is, a lot of people don't, think it's a terribly big deal. But digging these fence posts, you got three choices really. Four, but your choices are the little hand diggers, which, I did a lot of posts by hand. It takes a while to dig that hole, about 3 foot, 4 foot deep. So the other thing that I invested in was a gas auger, which it's a one-person auger, and it takes a lot of effort. You don't realize exactly how exhausting it is to basically fight an engine from turning. I've hurt myself a couple times. My wrists are in bad shape right now from just doing about 15, 16 fence posts. A couple weeks ago, they're still really sore, and it's exhausting, especially in the heat, just to do that work, because you're fighting dirt, you're fighting the engine, everything like that. It's not light by any means. The only other options are 3-point auger on a tractor, which, while we do have a tractor, it's not in running condition, at least not to be able to do heavy farm work. And the third option is actually pounding the fence posts into the ground, and that's another attachment that goes on a tractor, unfortunately. And it's just not in our budget right now, so have to do everything by hand. And things are going pretty slow, but other than that, we're working. Let me get a little update. I'm gonna pause right back. Hi, Opal. And you can see the grass over in the goat pasture is pretty thick, coming up about waist high on the goats, which they're loving. We're hoping Opal is pregnant. Not 100% sure, but she's carrying like she is. Let me see if I can find them. Indy, where are you? There's a ruby. Where there's a ruby, there's an Indy. There he is. Hi, buddy. Hi. What doing? What doing, buddy? You gonna come out and see me? He's like, nope. So if y'all remember, this is Ruby and her boy, Indy. Indy was born on 4th of July, and he's been doing really well. Ruby's our very skittish girl. She's never really been social. She'll tolerate being around you as long as you're not trying to go after her or anything. Indy, I've been working with pretty much daily. Try and get him. Where you going, Indy? Hey, buddy. Hi. What doing? What doing? He's being a little turd right now. So they use this shed to hide from the rain and everything. I'm gonna see if he might come out. There he is. Hi, buddy. Maybe if I go in here. Yeah. What doing, buddy? He's like, you never see me in here. Well, I guess he just doesn't want to play right now. Hi, Ruby. Anyway, yeah. Indy, as I said, was born 4th of July. He's been doing really well. Going to be finding him a new home, though. As a male, we don't have much of a need, especially as male offspring, because then you're bringing the inbreeding, the line breeding back in to the herd, and that's not something we're really looking to do. So if we were to keep him, he'd be a wether, and literally the only thing he would be is a pet. We're not 100% decided that he's going to find a new home yet, because he is so social. He likes climbing up into my lap and playing, pawing at me and things like that. So he is very social. He would be fun to have around for people to meet. But all of our goats are fairly social, with the exception of Ruby and somewhat Elvis. So that's the big thing going on here. This weekend is just, I'm trying to escape from the pasture. This weekend is literally just trying to finish out some projects, little things here and there while it's not too swelteringly hot. And hopefully going with the flow. Last update I have, we do have on the schedule a trunk or treat for this year. Find out some more details on our Facebook page about that. However, the big catch is the COVID resurgence. We're not closing down, but we're also being very mindful of the situation. We are open for tours. If you want to book a tour or something like that, come out and see the animals, support us in the ways you can. Just feel free to reach out on the Facebook page. If you need to give us a call or anything, our number is also on the Facebook page and on the website. You can email us as well. And as far as supporting us goes, again, as always, I just want to say we appreciate your watching these videos. We appreciate you coming out for tours. Our egg sales have been going. You all probably know about the situation with the chickens by now. If not, here's a recap. Previous video has some information on it. Facebook page has some information. We will be stopping egg sales probably by the end of August for the year, until we have new birds that are healthy moving in. And last but not least, we are researching, but keep an eye out. We are going to try and get some merch for everybody to partake in. We're kind of researching exactly what we want, but you can more than likely expect some t-shirts and hats and whatnot. But we'll see what we get. We haven't decided on anything, but that should be coming up fairly soon, and we'll keep you updated. But as always, in the meantime, like I said, come visit us, book a tour, and watch these videos. Any little thing helps, and you know, we are we want to grow, and we want to be able to provide this all to you guys as well. So us being able to do these videos, as long as you guys are watching, we're making. I'll catch you guys later.